Good morning, students. This is Arun, Assistant Professor, Department of Triple Derivation Theory. So, in the previous class, I discussed about switching converter power generator basic approaches, and now in this class, I am going to discuss hybrid VAR generator and some more topics. Okay, firstly, I will start with the hybrid VAR generators. Okay, so these are switching converter with PSC and TCS. So, up to now, we discussed about the switching converter type VAR generators. Okay, in that one we are taking the GTO thyristors, but here in this one hybrid generator means switching converter with PSC and TCA, that is thyristor switched capacitor and thyristor controlled reactor. So here the converter based VAR generator can generate or absorb the same amount of maximum reactive power, can observe or generate the same amount of maximum reactive power by using the converter based VAR generator, and in other words it has the same control range of capacitor and inductive VAR output. So in other words, this converter based VAR generator has the same control range for capacitor and inductive VAR outputs. And however, many applications may call for different VAR generation and absorption range. So many applications may call for a different VAR generation and absorption range. So this can simply be achieved by combining the converter with either fixed or thyristor capacitors or reactors, like the TCC and TCR. The combination of converter based VAR generator with a fixed capacitors. Firstly, I will take the combination of converter based VAR generator with a fixed capacitor, that is FC. Okay, that is FC. So that is shown in this diagram. So this is a combined converter based and fixed capacitor VAR generator. So here I am taking the STATCOM. So this STATCOM is connected to the coupling transformer, and this coupling transformer is connected to the voltage, and this coupling transformer is connected to the fixed capacitor, that is C. Okay, and on the right side we have the operating waveforms of the this combination. So here I am showing the combined converter based and fixed capacitor VAR generator and associating operating area. So here the arrangement can generate VARs. Okay, this arrangement can generate VARs in excess of the rating of the converter. Shifting the operating range into capacitor region as illustrated by associated weak acids. So here we have the operating region for this one. So here I am taking the IL and IC, that is IC. There is a capacitor current, and IL means inductor current. So here we have the I-STATCOM maximum and I-STATCOM maximum in both the regions. There is in IL and IC we have shown, and we have the V maximum and BC. Okay, B. Okay, so here it is of course also possible to move the operating characteristics of static generation further into absorption region by combining the converter with a shunt reactor. I will show the diagram. So for this diagram I am adding one reactor. So same diagram I am taking, but only modification is that I am adding one reactor to this one. So it will show like this. Okay, so here I am taking combined converter based and fixed reactor type. So previously we are taking combined converter based and fixed capacitor type, but here I am taking combined converter based and fixed reactor type. Therefore, okay, so it is of course also possible to move the operating characteristics of a static generator further into absorption region by combining the converter with shunt reactor. Then the VA characteristics of this arrangement is shown in this one. Okay. So compared to those two, so whereas fixed capacitors or reactors shift the operating range of the converter based VAR generator more into capacitive or into the inductive region. That too without changing the amount of controllable MVAR. Okay, thyristor capacitors and reactors actually increase the total control range of VAR output. Okay, the capacitors and reactors actually increase the total control range of VAR output. So here I am taking the converter based VAR generator combined with a TSC and TCR together with associated VA characteristics. I will take those two. Okay, so the diagram is like this. Here I am combining both, means converter based generator combined with a TSC and TCR, that is thyristor capacitor a phased controlled reactor together with the associated VI characteristics. So on the left side we have this arrangement, and on the right side we have the VI operating region of this operation. So here I am taking the bus bar, and this bus bar is connected to coupling transformer, and this coupling transformer connecting both sides with STATCOM and PSC and PCR. Okay, so the STATCOM is converter based one. Okay, so here note that the addition of fixed or switched reactor admittances to the converter based large generator undesirably changes the VI characteristic in that the output current becomes a function of the applied voltage. So the combination is like this. So here also we have two regions. One is the capacitor region and another is the inductor region. So in both the regions we have the STATCOM current maximum. Okay, and the maximum voltage and current limits. Okay, and we have the flux density, maximum flux density regions also. Okay, so the change in the VI characteristics is clearly dependent on the MVA rating of the converter related to the total controlled MVAR range. So apart from the shift extension of this controlled VAR range, hybrid generator arrangements employing the converter with fixed or phased control capacitor and reactor banks may be used for the purpose of providing an optimal loss versus VAR output characteristic to a given application. So here up to now we are taking the shifting of the controlled range from capacitor region to the inductor region like that. But here, apart from the shift or extension of the controlled VAR range, hybrid generator arrangements employing the converter with fixed or phased control capacitor and reactor banks. So that is a STATCOM with fixed or phased control capacitor bank, reactor banks, capacitor and reactor banks may be used for the purpose of providing an optimal loss versus VAR output characteristic to a given application. So the generalized hybrid VAR generator scheme employing a switching converter with PSCs and PCRs and possibly fixed or mechanically switched capacitors provides a useful possibility for the designer to optimize the compensator for defined VAR range, loss versus VAR output characteristics, performance and cost. So further precision, we are taking hybrid VAR generators, that is switching converter with PSA and PCR combination. Okay, so this is the concept for hybrid VAR generators. And next coming to the summary of static VAR generators. So up to now we discussed about the static VAR generators topic wise individually, but here I will summarize these static VAR generators in a simple manner. Okay, so here I am taking the basic characteristics of the main static VAR generator schemes. So I am taking the basic characteristics of the main static VAR generator schemes that is shown in this table. So all the components in this one, okay, all the combinations in this one summarized in one place, and representative loss versus VAR output characteristics are shown in this diagram. So the table 5.1 gives the characteristics of the main static VAR generator schemes, what we are using up to now, those schemes, and the corresponding loss versus output characteristics, VAR output characteristics is shown in this one. Okay, firstly I will explain this table, and after that I am coming to these characteristics. So here this gives the comparison of static VAR generators. This table gives the comparison of static VAR generators. So here we are using VAR generator, that means types, that is PCR, that is phased controlled reactor fixed capacitor, that is one VAR generator, and after we have PSC PCR, that is phased switched capacitor and phased switched reactor, and next we have PCR PSC, that is phased switched reactor, and phased controlled reactor and phased switched capacitor, and lastly we have the converter based. Okay, the type of VAR generator is firstly the PCR and FC. So here we have different comparisons for this one. So by using the type, so the PCR FC is used to control. Here we are using the controlled impedance type for the PCR FC, and for the PSC PSR we are using the controlled impedance also. And for the TCR, TSC also we are using the controlled impedance type. And for the converter base, we are using synchronized voltage source. Synchronized voltage source we are using. These are the different types using for the large generators. And next coming to the voltage, current and voltage reactive power characteristics. So for the TCR FC type, so the maximum current is current is proportional to system voltage. Maximum capacitive where output determines with the square of the voltage decrease for the TCR FC. And for the TSC TCR, so the maximum component current is proportional to system voltage, like in TCR FC, and the maximum capacitor where output decreases with the square of the voltage decrease. Same operation, because of in both TCR FC and TSC TCR TSR we are using the controlled impedance type. That's why we are having the same for the TCR and TSC also same explanation for the VA characteristics. That is maximum component current is proportional to the system voltage and maximum capacitor where output decreases with the square of the voltage decreases. And next coming to the converter based type. So in this one we are using the synchronized voltage source. So that means here we have the maximum component current is maintained independent of system voltage. So previously for the TCR FC and TSC TSR and TCR TSC type, the maximum component current is proportional to system voltage, but here the maximum component current is maintained independent of the system voltage, and here maximum capacitive where output decreases linearly with the voltage decrease. But in the previous, the maximum capacitive where output decreases with the square of the voltage decrease. Okay, then coming to the next characteristics, that is loss versus wire output. So in the TACR FC, the high losses at output losses at zero output losses decrease smoothly with capacitive output and inductor and increase with inductive output. So here in the TCR FC type, the loss versus wire output, that means high losses at zero output losses decrease smoothly with capacitive output and increase with inductive output. In the TSR type, so low losses at zero output losses increase step-like with capacitive output. And in the TCR TSC type, low losses at zero output losses increase step-like with capacitive output smoothly with inductive output. Okay, in converter based type, the loss output characteristics is low losses at zero output losses increase smoothly with both capacitive and inductive output. Okay, and coming to the harmonic generations for the different types of rad generators. So in the TCR FC type, so internally the harmonic generations are internally high. That means large power per unit TCR we have. This requires significant filtering. Okay. Next, coming to the TSC TSR type. So in this one, internally very low reactance we have. That means may necessitate curing reaction. We have to take the curing reaction. And for the TCR and TSC type, so the harmonic generations are linearly low. So here we have small per unit TCR values. So it requires filtering. So for the TSC TSR type, we have to use the tuning reaction. Okay, and for the TCR TSC we have to use the filtering. So for the TCR FC type also we have to use the filtering. And coming to the converter based, so in this one the harmonic generates can be linearly very low. So may require no filtering. So in the converter base we are not using any filtering and any tuning. Okay, and coming to the next one, that is a maximum Maximum delay transient behavior under system voltage disturbance. That is one more characteristic of this one. So in the PCR and FC type, half cycle cool. So maximum tendency delay is the half cycle in the PCR FC and open cycle, one cycle for the TSC TSR and one cycle for the PCR TSC and negligible in the converter based type. Okay, and next coming to the transient behavior under a system voltage disturbances. So it is a half cycle poor in the it is poor in the PCR FC and it can be neutral in the TSC TSR and it can be neutral also in the PCR TSC type and tends to damp transients to the converter based control. Okay, like that we have different comparisons for the static power generation. And coming to characteristics for those static power generators, we have first characteristic is for the TCR and FC. So that is thyristor control reactor plus fixed capacitor. Here the casting diagram is drawn between loss versus bare output. So here we have basic range on capacitive reactance and the losses are in this manner, like increasing manner. Okay, and next coming to the PSC type. So in this one, the casting diagram is also drawn between loss versus output characteristics, bare output characteristics. So here also the basic range of this one, the losses is in the capacitor region only. So but here we have a step-like change in these losses. Okay. So on the right, on the left hand side I am giving the thick lines. On the right hand side I am giving the dotted lines. Okay. Dotted lines variation is for the inductor region and the thick line variation is given for the capacitor region. And coming to the PCR and TSC combination, in the previous the losses is 2 into 5 per unit. In the TCR and FC we have 1 per unit for TCR, 1 per unit, and for FC 1 per unit the losses, and in the TSC that is 2 into 0.5 per unit. And coming to TCR and TSC, so the waveform, the casting diagram is like this, loss versus output watt generators. Okay, so here the waveform is like this. It is also in this step-like manner but in a different way. So here the losses is 0.5 per unit plus 2 into 0.5 per unit. So TCR consists of 0.5 per unit losses plus the PSC consists of 2 times to the TCR. Okay, here the basic range of the losses between both regions. So this was capacitor and inductor regions. And coming to the STATCOM, only STATCOM we are considering. So for the STATCOM, the loss versus output bare output characteristics is like a parabola. Okay, so here the basic range of the losses is lie between QC and QL. So here the losses is 1 per unit in the STATCOM. Then coming to the next one, that is STATCOM plus FC. So the STATCOM and fixed capacitor. So in this one, the STATCOM consists of 0.5 per unit losses and FC consists of 0.5 per unit losses. In total, we have the 1 per unit losses. So the basic region is between the only capacitor region. And next coming to STATCOM plus TSC, the STATCOM with the combination of thyristor switching capacitor. So in this one, the basic range is between capacitive and inductive regions. Okay, so here also the losses for the static and TSC is 1 per unit. So this is the summary of static power generator. And next coming to the static rack compensators, that is SVC and STATCOM. Okay, so SVC means static rack compensator and a STATCOM means static synchronous compensator. So these two are static rack generators, okay, whose output is varied so as to maintain or control specific parameters of the electric power system. Okay, so SVC and STATCOM are static rack generators or compensators whose output is varied so as to maintain or control specific parameters of the electric power system. And it has been discussed in the previous sections that a static generator may be of controlled reactive impedance type, employing phase controlled and switched reactors and capacitors, or synchronous voltage source type, employing a switching power converter, or a hybrid type, which implies the combination of these elements. So like that, we have discussed previously. These all types we discussed already. Okay. And next, so although the operating principles of these VAR generators are disparate and their relay and loss versus VAR output characteristics, as well as their speed of response and attainable frequency bandwidth are quite different compared to previous. Okay, so they all can provide the controllable reactive shunt compensation. They all can provide the controllable reactive shunt compensation, exhibiting similar overall functional capabilities within their linear operating range. So this means that the basic external control structure that defines the functional operation of the compensator and to this end derives the necessary reference input for the VAR generator is substantially the same independent of the type of VAR generator used. Next, so the primary objective of applying static compensator in a power system is to increase the power transmission capability. So the primary objective of applying a static compensator, whether SVC or STATCOM, in a power system is to increase the power transmission capability with a given transmission network from the generators to the loads. And since the static compensators cannot generate or absorb real power, and the power transmission of the system is affected indirectly by voltage control. So that is the reactive output power of the compensator is varied to control the voltage at the given terminals of the transmission network, but just to maintain the desired power flow under possible system disturbances and contingencies. Okay, that's it. We are taking this, the reactive output power of the compensator is varied to control these. Then the control requirements for the compensator has been derived from the functional compensation considerations in sections, that is the objectives of shunt compensation. So in the concept we discussed about 4 objectives. One is midpoint line segmentation and radial line and tension stability improvement and polarization mapping like that. Okay, that is the first one. So as shown that the basic compensation needs usually fall into one of the following 2 main categories. First one is direct voltage support. Direct voltage support, that means to maintain sufficient line voltage for facilitating increase in power flow under heavy loads and for preventing voltage instability. For that one we are using this direct voltage support. And next one is transient and dynamic stability improvements. Transient and dynamic stability improvements. So this is used to increase the first swing stability margin and provide power oscillation damping. So in that section, that means in the objectives of shunt compensation, it was shown that terminal voltage control can enhance significantly the power transmission capability of the power system. And specifically, the regulation of the voltage at particular intermediate points and selected load terminals of the transmission system limits voltage variation and prevents voltage instability, that is voltage collapse, and increase transient stability limits, that is first swing. And whereas appropriate variation of the terminal voltage can further enhance transient stability and provide effective power oscillation damping, that is dynamic stability. Okay. Next, so in order to meet the general compensation requirements of the power system, okay, so in order to meet the general compensation requirements of the power system, the output of the static generator is to be controlled to maintain or vary the voltage at the point of connection to the transmission system. Okay, so here I will show the diagram. So that is a control scheme to convert a static generator into a transmission line compensator. I will show the diagram. So that one is either controlled impedance type or converter-based type. Any one. Okay, I will show the diagram. So this is the general control scheme of a static generator. Okay. So here we have converter based arrangement. So here we have two thyristors in a parallel connection. So here the P is equal to 0 and we have TSC PCR arrangement, that is thyristor control capacitor and thyristor control reactor, that two variable type, and these two combination, converter based and TSC PCR combination, is given to static power generator, and the static power generator takes the power system. Okay, it consists of generator, and it also consists of the prime mover, and it also consists of the voltage and angle, and it also consists of the mechanical power. It also consists of the impedance with the function of omega and t. It also consists of signal voltage, and it also consists of the output voltage, output current I naught, and this is connected to static generator, and these all things of the static generator is given to the feedback, and it consists of the PA controller and the voltage measuring and processing circuits and auxiliary inputs and direct inputs and V references. Okay, like that we have the arrangement. So these are called as SVC, static clock compensator. Okay, SVC. So here the power system, so that is this one. Okay, on the left side we have the power system in one block. So the power system at the terminal of the compensator. So here it is at the terminal of the compensator, that is VT. Okay, so compensator is represented by a generator. So this one, okay, generator with a generally varying rotor angle delta. Okay, with a rotating angle delta, rotor angle delta, and internal voltage V. Okay, internal voltage V, that is V comma delta, and source impedance, that is Z. So it is including the function of which one? The generator and transmission line impedance, including the generator and transmission line impedance. So that is a function of the angular frequency, and angular frequency omega and time t. Okay, and next the terminal voltage Vt. So here this one Vt, the terminal voltage Vt of the power system can be characterized by generally varying the amplitude V and angular frequency omega. Okay, so this one, this terminal voltage is characterized by generally varying amplitude V and angular frequency omega. And next, the output of the static power generator is controlled. So here the output of the static power generator is controlled. Okay, so that the amplitude I naught, so here we have the amplitude I naught for the static power generator. So the amplitude I naught of the reactive current I naught drawn from the power system follows the current reference IQ reference. Okay, so it is generated by the power system, that is this I naught, and this is followed by the IQ reference, current reference IQ reference. And next, so this is the basic static compensator control. The rod generator is operated as a perfect terminal voltage regulator, and the amplitude Vt of the terminal voltage is measured and compared with the voltage reference, that is V reference. So here Vt is compared with the V reference. Okay, and the error that is Vt. Okay, so here we have delta Vt, the error, that is error delta Vt. So the error delta Vt is processed and amplified by a PI controller, that is a proportional integral controller. So the error signal Vt is processed and amplified by a PI controller to provide the current reference, that is IQ reference, to provide IQ reference. So this one, to provide IQ reference for the static power generator. Okay, for the large generator. So in other words, the I naught is closed loop controlled by a IQ reference, so that Vt is maintained precisely at the level of the reference voltage, that is V reference, in case of power system and load changes. Okay, so if the proper compensation of the AC power system requires some specific variation in the amplitude of the terminal voltage with time or some other variable, then an appropriate control signal VRC derived from the auxiliary inputs. So by using this auxiliary inputs, we have to produce the VRC. Okay, we have to produce the VRC. That is correcting appropriate correcting signal VRC derived from the auxiliary input is summed to the fixed reference, that is V reference. I am summing this VRC to the V reference in order to obtain the desired effective reference signal, that is V conjugate reference, V reference conjugate. So this one. So here I am combining this VRC and V to this one. Okay. So here the reference signal V conjugate reference, the closed loop controls the terminal voltage Vt, and in the following section some practical auxiliary control loops and the corresponding characteristics of the static compensator are described. Next coming slide I will show that one. Okay, so here the characteristics of the static compensators are, we have four. One is regulation slope, and another one is transfer function dynamic performance, and another one is transient stability enhancement and polarization damping and wear reserve control, and finally we have the summary of this compensator control. Okay, so these are the different characteristics of the static compensator except the summary of compensator control. Okay, so in this class I am going to discuss the regulation slope, and in the next coming class I am going to discuss these transfer function and dynamic performance and transient stability enhancement and polarization damping and wear reserve control and summary of compensator control. Okay, so coming to the first one, regulation slope. So in many applications the static compensator is not used as a perfect terminal voltage regulator. Okay, in many applications the static compensator is not used as a perfect terminal voltage regulator, but rather the terminal voltage is allowed to vary in proportion to the compensating current. So rather the terminal voltage is allowed to vary in proportion with the compensating current. So there are several reasons for this. First one is the linear operating range of a compensator with a given maximum capacity and relative ratings can be extended if a regulation group is allowed. Okay, the linear operating range of a compensator with given maximum capacity and relative ratings can be extended if a regulation group is allowed. So regulation group means that the terminal voltage is allowed to be smaller than the nominal no load value at full capacity compensation. Okay, that is the regulation group. And conversely, it is allowed to be higher than the nominal value at full inductive compensation. So at full capacity compensation, the terminal voltage is allowed to be smaller, and for full inductive compensation, the terminal voltage is allowed to be higher than the nominal load value. Okay. So second reason is perfect regulation, that is zero droop or slope. Okay, perfect regulation could result in poorly defined operating point and a tendency of oscillation. So if the system impedance exhibited a flat region, that is low impedance, in the operating frequency range of interest. And third reason is a regulation group or slope tends to enforce automatic load sharing between static compensators as well as other voltage regulating devices normally employed to control transient voltage. Okay, so the desired terminal voltage versus output current characteristics of the compensator can be established by a minor control loop using the previously defined auxiliary input. Okay, so previously we seen that the auxiliary inputs for the system. So I explained the total combination in the previous diagram. So here I am taking the desired terminal voltage versus output current characteristics of the compensator. Okay, by establishing the minor control loop using auxiliary inputs. So this is a diagram. So this is the implementation of VI slope by a minor control loop changing the reference voltage in proportion to the line control. Same power system I am taking, but here I am taking two. One is V and another one is delta V. And we have the impedance with a function of omega and T, and it consists of current I, and it consists of terminal voltage for both the generators, that is Vt plus delta Vt of T. And next it is connected to the transformer and it is connected to the static work generator, and this transformer is connected to the current measuring and processing circuits, and this is connected to the resistance, and this static work generator, the PI controller and the auxiliary inputs and the voltage measuring and processing circuits are connected to the static work generator, and this V reference signal is connected to the current measurement processing units. Okay. So here in the diagram, a signal proportional to the amplitude of the compensating current, that is KIQ. So a signal proportional to the amplitude of the compensating current, that is KIQ. So this one, okay, is proportional to the KIQ with an ordered polarity. That is, capacitor current is negative and inductor current is positive. So with an ordered polarity is derived and summed to the reference V reference. Okay, it is given summed to the V reference. Okay. Next, so the effective reference, that is V conjugate reference, controlling the terminal voltage, thus because so V conjugate reference is equal to V reference plus K into IQ. This is treated as one equation. So in the above equation, the K is the regulation slope and is defined as the ratio of change in capacitor voltage maximum by capacitor current maximum. So that is equal to inductor voltage maximum, change in inductor voltage maximum by inductor current maximum. Okay. So here from the equation, the delta VC maximum is the derivation of, that is decrease. Delta VC maximum is the decrease of the terminal voltage from its normal volt value at maximum capacitor output current, that is IQ maximum, that is equal to IC maximum, and delta VL maximum is the deviation, that is increase of terminal voltage from its nominal value at maximum inductor output current, and IC maximum is the maximum capacitor compensating current, and IL maximum is the maximum inductive compensating current. This point is also discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so the equation, that is 5.1, that is V conjugate reference is equal to V reference plus K into IC maximum. So that one indicates that V conjugate reference is controlled to decrease from the nominal value, that is set value. Nominal means set value with increasing capacitor compensating current, and conversely it is controlled to increase with increasing inductor compensating. So decrease the nominal set value with increasing compensating current, and conversely it is controlled to increase with increasing inductive compensating current until the maximum capacitor or respective inductive compensating current is reached. So for that one we are using this one. And next, consequently, the amplitude of the terminal voltage, that is Vt, is regulated along a set linear slope over the control range of the compensator. Okay, so for terminal voltage changes outside of the linear control range, the output current of the compensator is determined by the basic VA characteristic of the large generator used. That is, the compensating current will stay at the maximum capacitor or inductive. Okay, the compensating current will stay at the maximum capacitor or inductive value in the case of converter-based large generator. That is, if the compensator constraint is STATCOM, and in contrast, it will change in the manner of the fixed capacitor or inductor in the case of variable impedance type large generator. That is, if the compensator is an SVC. Okay, so for the STATCOM, the compensator current will stay at maximum capacitor or inductive value. Okay, and in SVC, it will change in the manner of fixed capacitor or inductor in case of variable impedance type large generator, that is SVC. Okay, next, so a typical terminal voltage versus output current characteristic of a static compensator with a specific slope is shown in this diagram. So this gives the VA characteristics of the SVC and STATCOM. Okay, so a typical terminal voltage versus output current characteristic of a static compensator with a specific slope is shown in the diagram together with particular load lines. So here I am taking voltage versus reactive current characteristics of the AC system. Okay. So here we have three load lines: load line 1, load line 2, and load line 3. Okay. So here the load line 1 intersects the compensator VA characteristic at the nominal voltage, that is the reference voltage. That is the load line 1 intersects the compensator. So this one, the load line is intersects the common reference, that is this one Vt is equal to V reference, that is the load line 1, and thus the output current of the compensator is 0. The output current of the compensator is 0. Okay, so this one 0. And next, load line 2 is below load line 1. So the load line 2 is below to the load line 1. So if you observe this one, we have So the load line 2 is below to the load line 1 because decrease in the power system voltage, that is generator outage, decrease in the power system voltage. That's why if the load line 2 is below to the load line 1. Okay. And next, so its intersection with the compensator wave characteristics calls for the capacitive compensating current IC2. Okay. So the load line intersection with the compensator wave characteristics calls for the capacitive compensating current, that is IC2. Okay. Next, so load line 3 is above the load line 1. So if you observe this diagram, the load line 3 is above the load line 1. Okay, so that means due to the increase in the power system voltage. Due to the increase in the power system voltage, that is load rejection. So its intersection with the compensator wave characteristic defines the inductive compensating current. Okay, inductive compensating current. Next, the intersection points of the load lines 2 and 3 with the vertical axis define the terminal voltage variation without any compensation. So the intersection points of the load lines, that is 2 and 3 with the vertical axis, that is voltage, defines the terminal voltage variation without any compensation. Okay, so this combination. Next, the terminal voltage variation with compensation in the linear operating range under steady state conditions and its closed system changes is entirely determined by the regulation slope. So that is independent of the type of lag generator used as observable in the figure this one. Okay. And outside of the linear operating range, the STATCOM and SVC act differently as indicated in the figure. So the SVC and STATCOM are outside of the linear operating range. They are acting differently. And the dynamic for the name of the two type of components is also different. Okay. So outside of the linear operating range of the STATCOM are differently, and the dynamic performance of the two types of composite is also different. The dynamic performance of the two types of the compensator is also different. Okay, so this is the topics we covered, and in the next class I'm going to discuss the different characteristics. In this class I discussed only hybrid wire generators and summary of static wire compensators, and next I discussed about the SVC and STATCOM. So in that one we discussed the characteristics of the one. So in the characteristics I discussed about the regulations of only, and in the next class I am going to discuss the main characteristics of the SVC and STATCOM. Okay, thank you for watching this video.